Sometimes in life and in online marketing, you have to clear out the junk to make way for the good stuff. According to data from Ahrefs, 91% of web pages out there on the internet do not drive any organic traffic. And here's the thing, these pages aren't helping your business, and they may actually be hurting it overall to rank for important keywords in search engines like Google. In this video, I'm going to give you a very simple process for how you can identify the content on your website that's actually doing well for you. And I'm also going to share with you how you can pinpoint the content that isn't driving any results. And last but not least, I'm going to show you the steps that I take to see if content should remain on the website or if I should take it down. If we haven't met yet, my name is Scott Redgate. I'm an online marketing coach and I've been in digital marketing for over 12 years. The purpose of this channel is to help you make more and spend less in your digital marketing efforts and give you the confidence that you need that you can manage your own digital marketing campaigns without hiring an agency. This is the final part of my Simple SEO Strategy series. If you've missed any of the content, I'll leave a link to the playlist below. And before we dive in, I have a free gift for you. It's my 7-day online marketing jumpstart PDF. You can get it at scottredgate.com/jumpstart. It's a simple PDF. It's only a few pages. And if you complete the steps outlined in this doc, you'll give your website a solid foundation to generate more leads or more revenue and get more organic traffic. When I worked for a digital marketing agency, we charged thousands of dollars for the steps outlined in this doc, and you can get your copy for free at scottredgate.com/jumpstart. If you're like most websites, the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle is in effect. 80% of your results come from 20% of your content. Now, that doesn't mean the 80% of your content that isn't driving results is bad or should be deleted without any thought, but I want to give you the process that I take to see if content should be optimized or if you should consider deleting it. What I'm about to say might be an oversimplification, but the basic premise holds true. Unless you're Amazon or Wikipedia, you're not going to be able to rank for anything and everything related to your business. In other words, this means that you need to be strategic with the content that is on your website. You have to be sure that it's helping you achieve your higher goal of generating more sales or more revenue. If your audience isn't finding any value from your content and Google isn't referring any traffic to your website through this content, you have to ask yourself, what's the point on having it on your site? If there's too much clutter on your website, you're making it extra difficult for Google to be able to find your good content. And sometimes if this happens, Google will just skip over your content and not crawl it as a result. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. I'm going to give you the process that I work through with businesses to determine the winners and losers inside of their content. And just because something might not be doing well now, there is still an opportunity to improve and optimize that content so that it can thrive in the future. I am so excited to walk through this process with you for how you can identify the content that is helping you and the content that isn't doing anything for you. The basic thought here is that if you want to do well in Google long term, you can't have an imbalance of high quality and low quality content. Most of your content needs to be high quality. If you have an abundance of content that isn't driving any referral traffic, isn't driving any organic search traffic, isn't leading to any sales or conversions, and isn't adding any value to your audience, you have to ask yourself, what is the point of keeping this content? A lot of website owners don't understand that Google looks at your website at the page level, that's true, but it also looks at your website holistically to determine if you're an authority in the space for the products or services that you're selling. If you have a lot of trash content on your website, and maybe that's content that you threw up on your website overnight or you used AI to write 100%, and you didn't put a lot of thought into it, Google is taking that into account as it looks at your website overall. You could have a section of content on your website that is world-class, but if you have a lot of content that, for lack of better words, is a loser, that could be limiting your world-class pages from ranking well in Google search. So with all that in mind, here is the process. It starts out with creating content. And if you need help in understanding what type of content you should be creating, make sure to download my free 7-day online marketing jumpstart doc. We talk about how to do keyword research and then map that keyword research to the pages on your website that you can create. And then after you've created that content and you've given it enough time to live, and typically that's about 3 to 6 months, you need to look at 2 tools that are both free to gauge how that content is doing for you. Those tools are Google Analytics and Google Search Console. What I like to do is sort pages on my website from high to low, and typically that's page views or landing page views, and to find out what my top content is. Simultaneously, I'm looking at the quantity of conversions or revenue these pages are bringing in. If they're driving a lot of traffic and conversions, you have to ask yourself, how can I get more of that? This is where Google Search Console comes into play. You can see the top search terms and questions people are typing into Google that are leading to that page. Just like we discussed earlier in this SEO series, you can improve the referral traffic from Google Search that is coming to these pages by making small edits to the page with small sections that are adding value to your audience and addressing the exact stuff that people are searching for on Google. When you do this, it adds value to your post and it gives you the opportunity to rank for more and more long tail keywords in Google. After making these adjustments, schedule a check-in, typically 60 to 90 days out, to see if the optimizations were successful and you're driving more traffic to the page as a result. On the other side, you're going to have content that we're calling a loser and it isn't helping your business. These pages have little or no page views, little or no conversions, and using the step that we mentioned before, you can sort your pages in Google Analytics from high to low, but this time we're looking at the bottom of the list. If there's content at the bottom of the list that you know isn't good, maybe you threw it together overnight or had AI write it completely for you, you may want to consider pruning it at this step. Again, when you publish your content, you need to give it some time for Google to crawl and index it in its results, and sometimes that can take a half a year. If you've let the page live for a while and it isn't helpful for your audience and it isn't driving any traffic and it isn't driving any conversions, consider deleting it right now. If it is a page or a piece of content that isn't getting any results, but it is a good fit for your audience, go to Google and start researching other pages on the internet that write about this topic. Fill in the gaps with your content and make your page better and see if there's any information that these other websites are covering and you don't, and you can add that information to your page. You might find that your content isn't thorough enough as the other pages, or the other pages are just better. Take the time to rewrite your content, and if there's any impression data for that page inside of Google Search Console, you could keep those search terms in mind as you rewrite your text. After you publish your changes, give it some time and then schedule a check-in. If the content still isn't doing anything for you and you are passionate about this page, consider including it in your email marketing or social media to drive attention to it. And if that fails, you may just have a dud, and this is the time that you should consider deleting it. So, in summary, you want to find the pages and pieces of content that are a value add to your business and to your audience and optimize them to add more fuel to that fire. And when there are pages or pieces of content that are duds, you want to be strategic to give them a chance, but then eventually delete them if they aren't helping your business overall.